Okay, so we're almost done. So gonna talk about um polyphonic pitch detection for the FM synth part. So for the polyphonic pitch detection, um you have polyphonic pitch detection on, set to 2. This is the value here. That needs to be set to 2. And you just play notes within the scale, and if it detects the note that's within the scale, it sends it to FM synth lead, the FM lead patch. So this also has the greater than 80 threshold limit. The difference is that it doesn't have a thing that it does for if it's below that limit, because basically if you're playing the guitar, since the high frequency crossover still detects notes from the low frequency, you're always going to have a threshold greater than 80. This is just to say that the guitar is being played to start detecting notes. So it's better to have an automatic ADSR rather than triggered ADSR for this. So the split is for so the split is for basically only offing notes that have greater than 0 MIDI values. Sub patch, copy it and paste it into your main patch. And so so basically this works with predetermined scales, or kind of dynamically predetermined scales. You have a scale selector, which uses the root note of a scale to assign the scale that you want. So yeah, so got interrupted by a phone call. I just cut off the recording. Okay, so so it uses the root of a scale once it's in scale detection mode to set the appropriate scale, and also it also only detects specific roots, so that there's less errors, so that the patch is less prone to error, because pitch detection, it's still hard to do, even with monophonic pitch detection. So it's prone to error. So this way it won't be prone to error. And I'll get back to this, but first, so once you get a root and you get a scale, setting it back to a play mode, you have predetermined notes for bass, which is the root and the third semitone interval of the pentatonic scale. Well, I didn't say that right. The root and the third interval after the root to get you the first two notes of the pentatonic scale. And then for the high notes, the FM lead, you get the notes of the pentatonic scale starting from the 7th semitone from the root. So only notes within the scale, the dynamically determined scale, could be played. If a different note is detected, it's not played. It's not passed through. But it's more difficult than that. For example, for the bass notes, uses the Sigmund external patch, and to get a note that's with a threshold of 80 or more, and then it sees if the threshold is then it opens a gate to pass the note. And from there, it checks if the note is 90 or more. Basically, so that the note, just more security to make sure that the right note is played. Then if it is, the name of the note is sent here, and a bang is sent through here, because bang is sent through here. This would send a 1. The selector would take the 1, send the bang, and then it would go through. That's for the scale selector right now. So it's the same for bass. And it would go through if it's 80 or more. Oh, right. So basically, this is just to check that when it's played, that it's still greater than 80, and then the note is oft played to. The note is sent to notes for bass, which is the note detection thing, and if it's the right note, it gets sent to dubstep bass. And what happens here is first you take the note and you store it. use this trigger float to trigger this and this together, I guess. Um, uh, yeah, so this triggers this the so basically this triggers make sure that the trigger goes from right to left instead of left to right, I guess. And notes are stored. If it's a matching note in the scale, then a bang is sent through, and the note gets passed through from the placeholder to the patch for wobble bass. Um, I'm gonna stop there. Stop here. Talk